أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين لإيلاف قريش إيلافهم رحلة الشتاء والصيف فليعبدوا رب هذا البلد الذي أطعمهم من جوع وآمنهم من خوف قل هو الله أحد الله صمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد جمعة مبارك خير مبارك. This is the black pot, aka Kukushonamo. Blessed is the man that worketh not in the counsel of the heathen, nor sitteth in the seat that is scornful, but his delight is in the law of the Lord. And in this Lord I say, I dated sunrise and sundown. Him I go dear like a tree planted by the rivers of water that bringeth fat fruit in his season. Him leap never I go wither, and whatsoever him do shall prosper. Yea! The heathen them now, they saw them there like a chaff with the wind driveth away. Therefore the heathen them never go turn upon judgment that the sin among them in the congregation of the righteous. For the Lord God Jah loveth the way of the righteous, and the way of the sin among them. Always and always I go perish. Let the people of the Most High God say, Jah! Kadamawe gromabea tela e exact beer tanaistalina shante. How mausogbo lisa adanu water e was sick player for. How mausogbo lisa akpe kaka. This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushonamo, where we speak truth to power. And my name, Black Rasta. In every traditional African home, there is a black pot. And each time this black pot sits on the fire, there is something super sumptuous cooking. Hey, food, my brother, my sister, cooked with that collaboration. Yes, but remember, ingredients of so many different types, shapes and sizes, colors, aromas and flavors, put aside all their differences and relocate into the black pot where they are subjected to some amount of cooking. Yes, and this heating is what causes the cooking, and food is prepared. Ironically, they do not even partake in the eating of the food. It is us, the eaters, who do. Yet every time, the ingredients and the black pot will rise to that occasion and prepare the most sumptuous and the most nutritious food. A lesson of selflessness. How many of us believe that every lazy person is poor? And how many people believe that we are rich because we are hardworking and nothing more than that? How many of us say, oh, let's have it all. Let's eat all of it. After all, tomorrow we die. How many people would say, I worked very hard to get this, therefore I will not share it with anybody? My brother, my sister, are we thinking generationally? Are we thinking about the children we are making? Are we trying to leave a better place for our children? Same way you are encouraged to leave a toilet in a good condition, better than the way you left it. Are you going to leave this earth better than the way you saw it? My brother, my sister, this is generational thinking. Now, if you think generationally, for just 1 year, plant maize. If it's 10 years, plant trees. And if it's forever, perpetual, you must plant human beings. The more you plant human beings, the more you plant a whole generation. My brother, my sister, this is the Black Pot, aka Kukushonomo. And here we speak truth to power. We are live on YouTube. And I want to say thank you so much for joining us. Our YouTube channel is Black Empire Media, as you can see on your screens. And we are live. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's called Black Empire Media, and click on the bell so that anytime we are on, you would be notified to watch us live. This is a show of Pan-Africanism, a show of patriotism. It's rewiring the mindset of our people. How many of us think of key? How many of us think of beat? How many of us are still colonized and enslaved in the mind? This is what this show is all about. We don't know better than any one of you. We are only here to share our ideas. That is why we call it the Black Pot. It's all about collaboration. And when we collaborate, we will achieve. That is why we are here. My brother, my sister, this is the Black Empire Media. Our numbers are scrolling on the screen right now. Pick the numbers up and do business with us so that we would continue to push harder and harder and harder. In the interim, we are supported by Is It. And Is It simply means in spirit, in truth. Now, if your regular social media platform is giving you nothing but negativity, I'm talking about racism, I'm talking about violence, I'm talking about nudity, why do you continue being there? Leave it and join us on Is It. We are on Is It. And Is It is a social media platform built by Ghanaian engineers in America. In fact, what can you do with Is It? You can do more than your regular social media platform. Watch me. You can go live on Is It. You can make video and audio calls. At the same time, you can upload your videos and your photographs online, and you meet positive-minded people. On Is It, there's no negativity. We have powerful algorithms that sap out and remove every kind of negativity before it even pops up. Hey, what are you waiting for? Connect with family and friends. Make very positive memories that remain crystal clear forever. Download Is It from Google Play and App Store, no matter where you are in the world. This is the Black Pot, a.k.a. Kukushonamo, where we speak truth to power. We are also supported by the kind courtesy of Le Shrine. And when we talk about Le Shrine, we're talking about that executive club based right here in Accra. Now you go to at the Laboma Beach Resort, you would find Le Shrine. Why do we call it Le Shrine? In fact, it's surrounded by a very beautiful forest that has never been touched. It's a virgin forest. And in the ancient of days, our ancestors considered it a shrine. Many are those who still come around this beautiful forest, so virgin in nature, and just enjoy the serenity of nature. This is where you would find Le Shrine. It's sitting right at the mouth of the Atlantic Ocean, being serenaded by the warm waters and breezes of the Atlantic Ocean. They have a mini hotel with a sexy swimming pool. If you're tired of jumping into the salty water, just jump into clear waters right there. And if you feel like relaxing, there's a mini hotel. What do you want to eat? Is it continental or local? Hey, again, listen carefully and attentively. Listen, they have so many different activities happening there at Le Shrine, located right there at Yes, Laboma Beach Resort. What is happening? On Monday, they have the karaoke night. Yes, karaoke and adult night. And this is when it's most interesting. Remember, it's adult night. Don't take children there. 100% adults. Yes, it's an adult night. At Le Shrine, we always say, anything you want to see, come and see it for yourself. Wednesdays, we have the reggae night, Black Santino and friends serenading the whole beach with quality reggae music and lovers rock and beyond. Oh gosh. On Sundays, we have the special ladies night. It's also adult entertainment. Ladies of so many different kinds, sizes, shapes. Oh my God. They are right there at the beach enjoying the beauty of the ocean. And men are also coming around, oh my God, to buy sweet ladies some nice drink so they can have a conversation. Who knows, you might end up with a wife. It's beautiful. Please contact Le Shrine on the numbers on your screen. Very simple numbers. You can also have your private beach parties. No problem at all. This is the Black Pot, a.k.a. Kukushonamo. And here, we speak truth to power. Today, we have 6 very important things we want to look at. So we have to move very, very fast. You know, we normally don't like to go beyond our portion, 60 minutes, 1 hour. So we're going to start running like horses. Hear me now. We will gallop. 6 very important things to look at. And it's most interesting. Remember to send your comments coming in. We want to read your comments twice. We will break and read your comments because it's an interactive show. This is live on YouTube. Number 1, run the story. Watch it. It says what? No regret for snatching ballot box. And this is Carlos AHENKORAH. Who is Carlos AHENKORAH? He's an MP. In fact, he's an MP for Tema. West Tema, North Tema, East Tema, I'm not too sure. But I know that he is an MP for Tema. He He's a man many people see as a philanthropist. He's a man many other people think is positive. But I think this man is very negative. You know why? This is what it is. This man had COVID. He caught COVID during the election. And the doctors asked him to quarantine himself. He refused. He went out to the polling stations where thousands and tens of thousands of people were voting. And he went out interacting with them. In fact, a whistleblower blew the whistle. And the president was so embarrassed. At the time, he was a deputy minister of trade. The president had to axe him and cut him off because he had embarrassed him and also he had behaved so irresponsibly. This guy, he's supposed to be called an honorable member of parliament. Now, another thing that happened, the same Carlos AHENKORAH, whose photograph you see here, somebody we are all supposed to be calling an honorable member. My brother, my sister, there was supposed to be a certain voting in the parliament house to choose the speaker of parliament. And when he realized that his party was losing, you know what he did? He snatched the ballot box and picked up some ballot paper and chewed them like a goat on heat in the parliament house. In fact, it brought the whole parliament into disrepute. Many were those who insulted the Ghanaian parliament. In fact, we became people carrying dead monkeys. Everybody was laughing at us. My brother, my sister, it was a ridiculous thing he did. The army called in to bring about some sanity in the parliament house because it turned into fisticuffs instead of wise deliberations. My brother, my sister, Carlos AHENKORAH, several months down the line, says that he is not embarrassed by it and he has no regret. I remind you of another thing. He and Blakk, who is another MP, an MP for North Tongue, I believe. Blakk was granting an interview after a parliamentary sitting. And when Blakk was speaking, in fact, this same man decided to break into the interview and insult Blakk and call him a thief. In fact, he wasn't invited for the interview. In front of the cameras, this man broke into the interview, calling Blakk all sorts of names, including thief, useless, and so on and so forth. We're told later he apologized. This man is supposed to be called an honorable member. Should we still call him an honorable member? But look at the news that we have right now. This is from the polls. He says, I don't regret snatching ballots papers in parliament. And this is Carlos AHENKORAH. Come here. Watch me. Hey. He says, the member of parliament for Tema West, Carlos AHENKORAH, has indicated that he doesn't regret snatching ballot papers in parliament during the vote counting for the speakership elections on January 7, 2021. In an interview on Kumasi-based Oyiripa FM, the NPP MP said his decision to snatch the ballot paper was a result of his unwavering devotion, dedication, and loyalty to the party, adding that his colleague MPs called and hailed him for snatching the ballot papers. He said a lot of my colleagues did not understand why I snatched the ballots. But today, they tend to hail me. A lot of them say if they knew that things were going to be so tough in parliament as we experience today, what happened to you would have happened to anybody, right? A whole party, NDC parliamentarians, mostly oppose our policies in parliament with the support of the Speaker of Parliament. How is that possible? He quizzed. So you see, look at the level of thinking. Look at the level of thinking. He added, so what happened there was my dedication and commitment to NPP. Underline NPP, not Ghana. NPP and my loyalty. Even though I don't think I am going to do it again, I don't regret doing it. This man should be punished for this. That's it. Can you see this? They were having this kind of voting in parliament for who should lead in speaking in the parliament. In other words, the Speaker of Parliament. And when he realized that his party was losing out, he decided to take the laws into his own hands, snatch ballot papers, chew the ballot papers that they were counting. He was approached by another MP and they started punching each other. More than 50 people all punching each other. And they were captured on camera. The whole world saw the barbarism, the junglistic attitude of our parliaments. This idiot says that he does not regret it. Is he a Ghanaian? Does he have common sense? This is supposed to be called an honorable. Are we serious? This was what happened in parliament. That's him there rushing to pick up the ballot papers. My brother, they had to call in the army. Soldiers had to go into the parliament house of Ghana to bring about peace, which became another issue. Brother here says he has not regretted it. He doesn't think he'll do it again. This was the same man who apologized for doing this barbaric junglistic thing. Today he's telling us that he doesn't regret it. And look at the myopic mind that we have. This guy used to be Deputy Minister of Trade with this kind of mind. What kind of trade are you going to be able to broker? These are the people we have in power in Ghana. Can you believe this? He had COVID-19, warned by his doctors to stay at home. He refused and went out during the election. Only God knows how many people he hugged and transferred his COVID-19 to. We don't know how many of them died because of that nonchalant behavior, because we don't have the statistics. He has money, he can fly out and take care of himself. But those who went down the drain, may their ghosts rise and chase some of these people. As if that was not enough. He broke into a Blakk's interview. The Speaker of Parliament had to come in. We were told that he apologized. He used unprintable words. My brother, my sister, the same Carlos AHENKORAH, I don't know if he's looking for a certain kind of hype for himself or not. If you want hype, do the right thing. Do the work. Hype is not from doing wrong things. You went into the ballot box, removed the ballot papers, and started chewing that like a goat on heat. Today you are telling us that you do not regret it. Ghana is not for you alone. Ghana needs a clean slate to be able to market ourselves to the world. If you were going to fight in the Parliament House because of a common election for who should be the Speaker of Parliament, and you were supposed to be Trade Minister, my brother, my sister, how? Deputy Trade Minister. What kind of trade are you going to take out? What kind of trade are you going to bring in with this attitude? These are the people who are in place, and these are the people who are supposed to be ruling us. He says he doesn't regret it. He doesn't think he will do it again, but he doesn't regret it. He did it for his party. His party is better than Ghana. His party is better than the good name of the Parliament of Ghana. Parliamentarians need to sanction this guy. He needs to be called to book for making these utterances. They had the gas and the effrontery to invite me to come over and say that, oh, you said that we smoke weed. Come and tell us and show us. But this is a bigger disgrace. This guy is a bigger disgrace to the Ghanaian parliament. He can snatch ballot boxes, chew them, ballot paper in his mouth. All because he wanted to overrule the election results. Today he's proud of it. He did it for his party, and now you see that they are in parliament, they are fighting our policies, and look where your policies have sent us to. The IMF. You don't seem to see the head and tail of what you claim you were competent at. This guy should be bowing down their head in shame. If I was, in fact, in a position to mete out punishment, this guy will be punished. They have no respect for the nation. All they have allegiance for is their dirty party, and they don't think about any other person. To God be the glory. Today I have a lot of things to deal with, so I'm going to tap on each one of them. Next story. Ghana shall prosper with or without these urchins and aliens. Come here. Nana ADDO must apologize for CECILIA DAPAAH exoneration letter. This president is a very shameless president. God is going to punish him from now till he dies. And when he dies, Satan is waiting for a strong hard on. He's going to sodomize this man night and day. Remember when CECILIA DAPAAH was said to have been robbed of 1 million American dollars. American dollars that she stashed in her house. And 300,000 euros. My brother, my sister, we all heard it. Her two house helps had stolen hard American currency and euros from her bedroom. And we were told via court documents that she had jewelry that ran into millions of Ghana cedis also stolen, plus kente and a couple of suits for her husband. And some other Ghana cedis running into millions all stolen from one woman. When we pushed her and forced her to resign, she wrote a resignation letter to her boyfriend, Mr. President. It was a love letter. And she said she was resigning. What did Mr. President say? We know that you are going to be exonerated. You are so hardworking. A case that was being investigated. Mr. President, who is supposed to know better because he's a lawyer. Now I know he's a quack lawyer. My brother, my sister, wrote a letter to the woman, another love letter, and said that you shall be exonerated at the end of it all. My brother, my sister, 2 weeks down the line, look at what we are seeing. Watch the headline. OSP found 590,000 and over 2.7 million as CECILIA DAPAAH's resident. That's a report. Next headline. Bring the next headline. Let me show you something. If you thought this was the only amount they found, you must be joking. In her Prudential bank account, they found 5 million American dollars and 48 million Ghana cedis in one account, Prudential bank account. Come here. Now, party dogs, barking dogs, so-called communicators have all come out to try and support. Because in this country, it's about supporting our own thieves. While this is my own thief, I'll have to support this person. I am not saying that CECILIA DAPAAH is a thief. But everything is pointing to the direction of a certain wrongdoing which is being investigated, or else there would never have been any need to investigate this. Your country has run to the IMF for a bailout. Your country is here suffering serious haircuts that have been delved, my brother, my sister, and dished out to people who have gone to buy government bonds and so on and so forth. Your country is refusing to give monies out that have been saved in the bank with the so-called DDEP, whatever terms they call all those things. Somebody had 5 million American dollars in her account. She had over 1 million American dollars at home. 300,000 euros, one person. Poradumochri came out to try to explain the source of the 1 million American dollars. Today, Adam, CECILIA DAPAAH has ditched you. He has made a fool of you. You see? I keep telling you this. It's not everything that you have to try and defend. Defend the truth and nothing else. You were the one who came out and said, oh, $800,000 actually belonged to a dead brother of CECILIA DAPAAH. Only $200,000 belonged to her. And when they mentioned these huge sums of money, I've never seen that, honestly. So I wonder, would Blakk Rasta ever get this amount of money? Is it that I'm not hardworking, or maybe I'm just utterly lazy? My brother, my sister, these are the monies that these guys are counting. In fact, when the TV station came out and said it took 5 hours to count the money that they found in CECILIA DAPAAH's house, many were those who said it was a lie, including this guy called Poradumochri. They ruled it out and threw it into the abyss and said, oh, it's a lie. It's a lie. They should come and tell us. Today, the OSP himself has come out. The Office of the Special Prosecutor has come out to say that 590,000, that's over $500,000 American dollars, found in some of her houses. 2.7 million. You see, this is what we found. How about those that have been hidden that we haven't found? There was a brouhaha, money stolen. OSP was going to start investigating. I am sure that they would have tried to hide some of the money. This is what they've not been able to hide. 5 million American dollars in a Prudential bank account. 48 million American Ghanaian cedis. That's about 4.8 million American dollars as well in her Prudential bank account. My brother, my sister, one person. How rich is she? What business is she into? And this was a minister of state, two-time minister of state. Minister of Aviation, and then Minister of Sanitation and Water Resources. This is the money they have. Meanwhile, Nana Akufo-Addo told us, any member of my government who is in my government to make money is in the wrong government. Go to the private sector. If this is not money, then I'm sure that everybody would like to go in there and be poor like this. To God be the glory. Mr. President, you have disgraced yourself. You are a shameless brute. And I look at you, look at your age. You told us you were too old to lie. Today, I realize that there are old men who also lie. And I'm speaking out of vitriol and anger and bitterness that you've let my country down. You are not more a Ghanaian than us. And if these things are happening, Mr. President, we demand an apology from your shameless self. We need you to come out and tell us that you didn't know that there was this hidden loot in all these bank accounts and all that. How can you be talking about a cashless society, a cashless Ghana, and people have millions of American dollars stashed in their homes? And Baumia is walking around like an ass on heat, jumping digitalization. We are digitalizing Ghana. They are making a mockery of my brother. So look at you. How can you be president? If Ghanaians make this guy or any member of their party a president, it means that this country, hey, don't let me say what I want to say. You are not serious. Look at the rot. Bank of Ghana has run into debt, 68 billion. What the heck is happening in this country? And these people want to still be in power and break the damnable demonic aid. What is wrong with us? Mr. President, you need to apologize. Shame on you, Mr. President. Shame on you, shame on you. You have a legacy of corruption and thievery that shall follow you till the end of time. Your name is synonymous with thievery and corruption, and that is where you shall be. I'm speaking as an angry Ghanaian. Dash! My name is Blakk Rasta. When we return, we got more. Hey! Wayo! This is the Black Pot, aka Kuku Shonum, and here we speak truth to power. Help me, Father. Next story. Watch me. Hear this. He says what? Bagbin angry over unreasonable constituents. You know who a constituent is? It's a member of a constituency. They are those who are responsible for voting for the MPs. He's angry at them. Why is the Speaker of Parliament, at whose election somebody had to chew ballot papers like a pregnant goat on heat? Why is he angry? Watch this. Alban Bagbin fumes over public outcry that greets MP's salary increment. So there's an increment of salaries for MPs in Ghana to go and chew papers and box each other's pot bellies and gate crash into people's interviews. Run the story. The Speaker of Parliament, Alban Bagbin, has bemoaned the public backlash that greets the increment of salary of MPs, considering the economic burden on the elected public officials. According to him, the financial demands that come to the table of members of Parliament for settlement alone are a huge burden and a justifiable reason. He expressed his worry over the low salary of members of Parliament. Speaking at a public forum in Takoradi in the Western region on August 8, 2023, Alban Bagbin intimated that MPs deserve a better salary to meet the rising demands of their constituents. Whatever is given to the one you struggle to elect, you are opposed to it. Even though every day you knock at his door to request money to pay school fees and hospital bills and donate to churches, festivals and funerals, you hate to hear that his salary is being increased. There must be a problem. He said, according to citynewsroom.com. That's what he said. His comment comes after following the public anger that greeted the surge in salary for members of parliament. The proposal for a salary increment is on standby after vehement public backlash. Alban Bagbin believes it's high time Ghanaians softened their stance on the matter of salary increments, considering the huge demands they have to meet. My brother, do you need us to talk about this? Alban Bagbin is right. We live in a country that has been so impoverished that we see politicians as our key to heaven. We see politicians as our saviors and messiahs. So we chase them and put pressure on them to satisfy us, so they steal from us. What should have come to us? No, they block that, steal it, enrich themselves, and give us a bit of it like dust to go and manage. That's what Alban Bagbin is talking about. My brother, when you go to America, you don't have constituents running after MPs and asking for crumbs off the table. Why? Because the system is made in such a way, there's employment. Those who want to work are able to work. Those who are not able to work for one reason or other, they are sorted. But in our country, you could be as qualified as God. There's no employment for you. You could fly as high as the kite. No, sir. There's no place for you on earth and even in the skies. This is what Alban Bagbin is talking about. For that reason, when these MPs are even campaigning to be MPs, they promise things that they know are too lofty for them to deal with. When they come into power, there's already pressure on them to do things from their own pockets. A good friend of mine, Ras Mubarak, when he was an MP, he told me point blank, Blakk RASTA, people came to me to even take money to marry extra wives. People came to me to ask me to give them money to even buy bulbs for their own homes. Somebody even came to me asking me to give him money to buy a grinding mill. And I asked him, this is a business you want to do. What's my percentage in it? He got angry and went out telling people that don't help anybody. My brother, a thing of the mind. This is what we keep talking about. If we rewire our mindsets. I had a friend who was working with a big man. Instead of having the big man pay him his monthly salary, no. Every day the big man would rather give him, oh, use this for transport. Use this for transport. For several months, that was what he was doing. When he told me this, I told him, listen, tell the big man to keep the money for the transport and pay you your monthly salary. Once you get your monthly salary, you are okay. My brother, my sister, in this country, we pretend to be working and they pretend to be paying us. Why on earth will you run after an MP that you have elected to serve you, to give you money? Do you understand that you are the employer? Now you are making him the employer and you are the employee. You are employing him. If anything at all, you should see your MPs and give them money and tell them they are doing a good job. If the tables stand like that, we shall have a better nation. But where we see MPs as money bags, our politics would always be controlled by a few people and not by the majority. Meanwhile, politics, democracy, is about the people, for the people, right? By the people. The people must have the say. But when you put the say in the hands of a few people, and you cannot remove them because they are dangling a certain carrot in front of you, and like a little child, you are standing there waiting for the dangling candy to enter into your mouth. My brother, Alban Bagbin has said it, and he's spoken tongue-in-cheek. Until you guys stop running after the MPs, their salaries will continue to increase and they shall throw some dust on you. Listen, the Jamaicans have a saying that I like. If you are interested in it, come here. They say, beg water can't cook cow skin. Beg water can't cook cow skin. Nsure wa kosre. Entimi enwa kauro. Kauro ehiansuo pa. Se unwa kauro ganfosi wele. Kauro edin ehiansuo. Ube nwa. Jamaica for say, beg water can't cook cow skin. In other words, it's not enough for you to cook that. You need more. The MPs can never give you enough money, enough to make you be independent and be satisfied. The only way you can get that money is through a salary, and better still, through a job that you own yourself. Can we start? Can we promise today that we won't run after any MP? And when we meet the MPs, we expect to stand in a corner and call them to come over so we can ask them personal questions about the job we gave to them to do, just like employers do. No employer will see you and be running after you to come and ask you questions pertaining to the job he gave you. Is that what you have? Not even in America, not even in England. The employer stands in a comfortable shade and beckons at the guy, the employee, to come over with a finger. Come here. I gave you this work to do, blah, blah. What happened? Oh, sir, we did it. Until that situation is brought into this country, we will continue to be fooled by dirty politicians. That is why they don't answer your calls. Because your first thing is, I'm sick or I need money. Meanwhile, you are their employer. That's it. When we return, we are going to be looking at your comments, but we still have more for you, right? A lot more. Hey! Wayo!
Blackpot, Coco Show, man.
This is the Black Pot, aka Coco Show, where we speak truth to power. And my name Blakk RASTA. And remember, my brother, my sister, he who feeds you controls you. Our people are not ready to fast. Our stomachs are too big to fast. And when a man is not ready to sacrifice, that is when he becomes a beggar on the street. We are not a sacrificial nation. In other words, we are not a sacrificing nation. If you don't sacrifice, how do you reap? How do you reap when you have not sown? Unless you want to steal it. If you have this in your mind, then you would always stand tall. I have been in the scene for some time now. To God be the glory. Many have come and gone. Many were here before me. They left. Some left some very good legacies behind for us to emulate and all those things. Others just came to satisfy their big stomachs. They've been forgotten. We can't even remember their names now. Many more had died a natural death. They are in their corner. Nobody remembers them. But my brother, we have been given a mission. And we cannot afford to fail the Almighty. We cannot afford to fail our people. We cannot afford to fail our nation. Today, my brother, let them come with an American visa for every Ghanaian. Your chiefs and kings will go for that and leave the whole nation quiet. It's sad. Very sad. This is Port, aka Kukushodomo, where we speak truth to power. And remember, we are live on YouTube. Remember to click on our notification button after subscribing so that anytime we come on live, you will be able to pick up the voice. We have some messages coming in. Run them. And remember to keep your messages coming in. Yeah? Yes, thanks so much to all our viewers from America, from England. And we are still asking you, especially the corporate world, we need you to be part of this show. This is the show that is going to liberate Africa. Yes, I'm telling you that. Let me be very, very, very humble and say one of the shows. Come here, my Lord. Think say with a joke. Rap Thunder says, Alhamdulillah, it's a good Friday with my legendary Black Rasta. Much love, bro. Love to you. Rap Thunder. Ras Osaje Fuduwa Bill. Tindandogo. Gomadogo. Yenzor Bill. He says, yes, it's the last day of the month. It's the last day of the week edition of the Black Pot with the Kuchoko legend Black Rasta and Team Black Empire Media. Like, comment, and share your comments, which will be read loud for you. Of course, thank you so much. Solaji Mawena says, good evening, Black Rasta. Another Friday again, and we are here to listen to the truth. Thank you so much. Nuhu Muhammad Abdallah says, this time, go and snatch it again. Well, I know he's referring to Carlos AHENKORAH. Eric Oduro says, good afternoon, Black Rasta. Greetings from Amsterdam. Love and respect, my brother Eric. Love. Stephen Banda says, Black Rasta, God is, well, I think he says, thank God it's Friday, and I am listening to you live from Bloemfontein in South Africa. Blessed love to all Bloemfontein people. Blessed love to all South Africans. Petrina 02 says, greetings, Black Rasta. I really enjoyed the Nyabingi rhythms this morning. And now it's lunchtime with the Black Pot, rewiring the mindset of the youth. Burn all hypocrites and parasites. Thank you so much, Petrina 02. Yet the Nyabingi session was quite spiritual this morning. We give thanks. Stanley of Paris says, yes, it was. Mustafa Watara says, reasoning time. Yes, that's what time it is. Ekene Okoli says, I pray for God to grant very good-hearted persons their heart desires despite what is happening in the world right now. Stephen Banda says, he is... Okay, he says, here comes my show. I don't want to miss this. Thanks, Black Rasta and crew, and thanks so much for your teachings you give to us every time. Thanks so much, Stephen Banda. I also have Petrina O2 say, I also enjoyed the interview with Nikisha this morning, my brother. Yes, Nikisha was awesome. She was so good. Very, very frank. And I heard some things for the very first time. Boy, this is a wicked world. Well, you can also catch that show. It's called the Taxi Driver Show, or better still, the Urban Blend on 3FM 92.7 from 10 every day to 2, 4 hours of fire. And when we finish, we come here and also deliver. I think we're working hard, aren't we? We are serving the motherland. Thank God, Petrina, for listening every time. Karim Sadat Aduku says, good evening, Black Rasta. We appreciate you for the education throughout the week. We patiently wait for another blessed week again. They will steal from us and would always say we shouldn't talk. God save us. Blessed love. Many more comments coming in. Come here. You think say you day wise. Marcus Ekwamwa says, good evening, Black Rasta, and the family members watching you from Amsterdam. Keep the fire blazed, blessed, and keep the fire blazing. Beta Bless says, what kind of life is our leaders living? Okay, what kind of life are our leaders living? How do you want us, the youth, the young ones, to take after you? I like that. You are not even ashamed that your children and grandchildren will be looking at your miserable self in old age. My God. Peter Bless says, this is the full definition of hypocrisy. He really needs to be arrested and be punished. And we don't care what will happen to him next. We need the country fixed. not ruled by idiots and fighters. Award. Joe Emmanuel Nkrumah, a regular contributor. Love to you, my brother. He says, good evening, Black Rasta. How could he have regretted that action after all? Every condemnable acts that are perpetrated on our nation aren't punished. All right. So you see what he's trying to say? He says, good evening, Black Rasta. How could he have regretted this action after all? Every condemnable acts that are perpetrated on our nation are in public punished. So people see no shame in their stupid acts. I agree with you 100%, my brother. Paul Skimo says, I salute you, Black Rasta. I salute you back. Eric Oduro says, Black Rasta, I think we should pray for the leaders because they can't change by themselves. Only God can change them. How God has blessed us with all the resources. We need to prosper, yet Ghana is suffering. Yes, we need to pray for them, but prayer alone is not enough. If you sit down in your room and you are just praying that there should be a piece of land and God himself should come and water it and put and plant some crops for you and harvest and come and give to you to eat, you will end up dying. You will die. My brother, you need to put in effort. Even the Bible says that what? The hand that does not work must not eat. Work is not all about going to plant crops and all that. Work is also working on yourself to change. We will force them to change by what we are doing. Beta Bless says, in fact, Blakk, anytime I watch that video, you were called at the parliament, I feel very bad. I felt like those people don't have respect for humanity and they still owe us an apology. Well, I was there and all they wanted was an apology. Oh my God, so apologetic Ghana. We did it. But look at these guys. He snatched a whole set of ballot papers and chewed that because his party was losing. And it brought up an open fight. He apologized later. Today he's gone back on his words and says he never regretted it. And he was doing it for his party. Nana Akufo-Addo should call him to book to tell him that the party cannot be bigger than the nation. But these guys don't have a common sense of patriotism. They don't care. Next story. Remember to keep your comments coming in. We're going to read the next batch very soon. Yeah. Corrupt Ghana Army General under investigation. Who is this? Corrupt Ghana Army General. Run the story. Watch this. And I need you to watch it with rapt attention. It says, newly promoted Army General allegedly exporting peacekeepers to the tune of $8,000. Do you understand it? We're talking about a newly promoted Army General in Ghana. And when people want to go for peacekeeping, because they know no bullets will touch them, they would rather come in with things. I'm sure if they were going and dying one after the other, nobody would even want to go. So peacekeeping is like a holiday for a lot of soldiers. I have soldier friends who have told me, I'm just praying for another peacekeeping. I went for the other one, I couldn't bring enough. This one I'm waiting for. I say, hey, peacekeeping, people are fighting. You want to go for the peacekeeping? I miss bullets. Oh, no, we just sleep. I'll leave it there. So that's it. This is what the report is saying. Run the story. Concerns are being raised about the recent promotions of senior military officers by the President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, with reports that a particular officer has filed a petition against the military high command, calling for an investigation into certain alleged conducts of one of these newly promoted officers. The officer, until recently, a brigadier general, was alleged to be extorting money from soldiers on peacekeeping missions. He is said to have been selling United Nations peacekeeping slots to soldiers who were not due for the missions since 2019. And in the process, denied soldiers who were due to embark on these missions to Sudan, the Gambia, Mali, and Lebanon. Is trouble time to eat. No kofio, igbomobaye. The Herald newspaper is informed that as much as $800,000 was extorted from the soldiers when they returned from the peacekeeping mission. My God, the soldiers, The herald lent got paid 12,700, but the senior officer extorted his 8,000, leaving them with a paltry 4,000. This is a demon. It's worse than Nana Akufo-Addo. Do you have a heart that beats inside you? Who has sent you to peacekeeping? They have given you $12,700. I take my 8,000. We agreed. Agreement be agreement. Abi. I'm sure that if they were being sent to Afghanistan, I'm not sure these people will go. I'm sure if they were sent to places like Burkina, I'm not sure these soldiers will be in a hurry to buy slots to go there. They are going to places like Lebanon and other such places where they don't even hear gunshots. Many of the soldiers the herald was informed were not due for peacekeeping, but were selected and sneaked on the missions by the said officer, senior officer, at the cost of 8,000, vaguely labeled as GOC admin. GOC. What is that? What is this? Next page. And look at some names. I'm going to show you a few names. The Herald over the weekend intercepted the list of military officers who had been elevated. They included. So these are the people who have been elevated. Next page. You will see more. One of them is the one doing this. But because investigations are going on, the Herald newspaper decided to keep it under wraps, and we shall also keep it under wraps. Dash. Oh, yo, P. Oh, yo, papa. A lot of soldiers retire. Today, a policeman, almost 90 years, called me and said, I want to come on your show and talk. In fact, I was a policeman for several years. In the line of duty, I lost one of my eyes, and I was never compensated. Somebody goes for peacekeeping. In fact, it's actually Chobo mission. They go there, they get how much? $12,700. And you take 8,000 out of it. If you send 5 people there, that's how much? 40,000 American dollars just sitting down. You will die. You are going to have kidney problems, erectile dysfunction. You are also going to get cancer of the penis. You will get cancer of the liver, cancer of the tongue, that you cannot taste anything. You shall die like a rat. Amen. If you agree, say amen. Next story. Wicked people in this country. Wicked people. They are wicked. They have no respect for the masses who are suffering. They don't care. Every other person can die. Once they are alive, they want to be okay. Jesus have mercy. Reverend Anthony Boakye laid to rest in a glass coffin. Come here. Think say you day wise. Do you all remember this reverend minister? He was the one who fell so ill. In fact, he had a church just around my house there. And every weekend, Sunday, you see people thronging to the place. He had buses that carried people to the place. I was wondering, what is this man preaching? What is he doing there? One day I decided to go around there and investigate. And he was preaching nothing but the Bible. Deep preaching. Preach. In fact, this was a man who said his mother had about 17 children. All of them died. He was the only one who survived. Maybe it's an exaggeration, 11 or so. I remember it's an odd number. It's a long time. So, if you're a woman and you go to his church and you wanted a child, he won't bless you with one child. He will say, I give you 11 children. And we were told that a number of the women were having children like that. Until the 11, they will not stop. My brother, this was the man who fell so ill and was about to die. His church members believed that he will never die. And he told them that he actually died and resurrected. In fact, in a Zoom message to his church, he told them God had shown him that his time was not up to die. That's why he returned. And that the church should buy him a brand new white car so that he would sit in the car and come to church and preach. The day he was supposed to go to the church, the whole church was packed to capacity. Unfortunately, whilst he was struggling for his life, he himself said his wife went behind him trying to usurp the church. You know what it means to say usurp, right? Take over the church by force. That's it. So he cursed his wife and said, this sickness that is inside me that I'm suffering, I give you all that sickness. You shall die. You and your family members shall die. But he ended up dying. The wife is still alive. And look at the drama that ensued. The wife and the family started fighting over the corpse of the man. When this man was alive, he was a very strong member of the ruling demonic party, the NPP. He will preach and ask people to vote for Nana Akufo-Addo. Wherever he is, I pray that he goes to heaven. God will remind him, why did you lead these people to vote for these demons? And when he died, Nana Akufo-Addo was at his funeral. He went there. He went there just last week. He was there. Some other members of the society, big in political cycles, they were there. Yes, political circles. And then, when we went there to look at the coffin, hey, what splendor. You want to see photos? Look at where they buried the man. This is not the National Cathedral. This is the tomb of the man of God who died. The man who wanted a white car and he couldn't get. This is it. This is where they buried him. Yeah, look at it. Anointing. That's where they buried him. Who paid for this? Is it the church? Or the feuding family members? Or is it the government? Nana Addo is not far from paying for this. Because he campaigned for him and his demons to come into power. This is where they buried him. Kwame Nkrumah mausoleum is recently, they went and refurbished it. Recently. Watch it. That's the man. Hey. Pomp and pageantry. When you enter inside, this is what you see. In fact, it's shinier than the Kwame Nkrumah mausoleum. Why, Sir John? You think say you day wise? Wherever you are being sodomized by Satan, come and see somebody else's grave is better than yours. Come and see. Watch. That's the funeral. Look at the pomp and pageantry. I am happy for one reason. That this man was able to command a huge number and he wasn't there doing miracle, 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 miracle. His tapes are still being played. And if you have time to listen to what he preached when he was alive, you could see that he was so touched by his own Bible. I like people who are passionate about what they do and they are able to change the lives of many. The Ghana police was there to blow trumpets and also sing. Look at Nana Akufo-Addo, right? And look at the army. The army also went there. That's the immigration. You know, all these wonderful people. Oh, this is the captain himself. Yeah, I think he was crying in his stomach. They would have needed him to campaign for Bawumia to win. Unfortunately, he's gone. Look at other members of the community. All of them came. I am sad that the man died. But again, I am happy that he left a legacy unlike some other men of God. This is beautiful, isn't it? In fact, look at where they buried him. I hope and I pray that it becomes a tourist attraction. I pray, my prayer is, when people are sick and they go there and touch the glass, they should be healed. So that many more tourists can come in. Like some people go to Mecca, some people go to Israel, some people go to, other places, so that we can also have people coming here to touch the glass and they are healed. Tourism would have been big in this country. Tongue in cheek. To God be the glory. You don't want to end it. It looks like a Hollywood movie. My God have mercy. Hey, Reverend, when you were alive, I'm sure your hospital bills, sometimes when people even paid, they were shaking. They will keep all the money and bury you in a glass coffin. But you led a good life. I won't judge you. Dash! Is that the final story? Or we have one more? One more story. Run the last story and we are done. God have mercy. Yes, sports betting is for lazy youth. And this is the majority leader. I think his name is Osei Mensah Bonsu. He was at the parliament the day that I went there and I was called to come and apologize to the parliamentarians for calling them marijuana smokers. Today they have legalized marijuana. That's the man. Oh my God. He said something. What did he say? Sports betting is making the youth lazy in Ghana. And some people are not happy with the comment. One Listowell says that this man should tell them how many employment opportunities he's giving to the youth. And he's calling them lazy. That's him. How many jobs have you created since becoming MP? Angel FM reporter takes on Mensah Bonsu. He's not alone. Some Ghanaian netizens have also decided to eat his flesh. Angry social media users vent spleen on Mensah Bonsu for anti-betting comments. That's it. But the man is right. The man is right. There's betting all over. Everywhere you go in Ghana, every 2 centimeters, you see a betting center. If those betting centers, my brother, my sister, could be turned around and be made, my brother, my sister, hospitals and schools, my brother, my sister, it would have been a better thing for all of us. It's sad. Betting centers all over. Should I tell you what we are suffering from? Come here, I think say you day wise. There's a password on the brains of the youth. That password can never be decoded if the youth continue to be lazy. Their mind shall be dark. It's sad, my brother. I tell you something. Do you know that now there are more females in our educational centers than men? Our last JHS examination in Ghana, which will end today or just ended today, Friday, more females wrote than men. When you go to GIJ, Ghana Institute of Journalism, females. The universities, females. You know why? The men are busily betting. University of Science and Technology, the university I went to. Last year, in fact, the beginning of this year, some students were almost rusticated because they used their school fees to bet. And you call betting a blessing? Which country is betting away its life? You are gambling the lives of the youth on this pedestal. Everybody's betting. It's very sad, brethren. It's totally horrible. Very horrible. Very abhorrent. Why should you bet? People are going around betting. Lotto. Lotto is all over the place. And the MP says it's for lazy people, and you don't understand. Of course it's for lazy people. It's for very lazy people. It's sad. As it stands right now, my brother, my sister, we have to open our eyes and ears with rapt attention. Yes, rapt attention. Betting is for lazy people. Lotto is for lazy people. You want to sow 10 cedis and get 10,000. Is that not laziness? Then we should encourage those who sit on TV, malams and juju men, who say British money laundering. In one way or the other. But it's been legalized. Legalized money laundering. Sad. If you're into betting, it's a dangerous habit. Please leave it. It won't help you. Lotto. Hey. I want to thank you so much. I want to appreciate you. I want to say thank 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 you. We appreciate you. We love you. We have some comments coming in, right? Let's deal with the comments quick so that we'll be able to close and people can go and rest. And remember that this is the Black Pot, a.k.a. Kukushonomo. Fedway Inc. says, shameless and shameless Ahenkorah, Ghana is doomed. Napoleon Ashete says, fire burn them, all Babylonians in power. Black Rasta more fire. Michael Boatin says, oh, Kwame Nkrumah Ghana panye. And one year, also. Agbo Benjamin says, you're Rasta. So Akufo-Addo was right when he said Yetisi Council and come the end. If Ghanaians vote the NPP again, then even our underwears will be stolen. I believe that. Sharif Ibrahim says, are the government officials aware of these wonderful trees in Ghana? The glue tree, cotton tree. About 100 of them in Wa. I can only boast of one glue tree in my area. What tree is that? What does it do? Tell us more about that. Joe Emmanuel Nkrumah says, I thought they were our leaders that should first exhibit sensitivity so that what happened to leadership by example. That they found the fantasy to increase their salaries. Hey, Ghana, well, it's nauseous. They say MPs need to be, he's speaking tongue in cheek. You go to them asking for money every time. So they need the money to give to you. Tongue in cheek. Eric Oduro says, Rasta, how can one woman have all this amount of money in her bank accounts? $5 million American dollars? What kind of business is she doing? I don't get it. I am overwhelmed. What? 5 million plus 5 million plus 1 million plus to the umpteenth time in her house. Kwabena Sego says, Black Rasta, you are lying. Alban Bagbin is wrong. Be intelligent, Black Rasta. Well, I don't know. I really don't know. Alban Bagbin is lying that what? That people run to the MPs to ask them for money? Or which one are you talking about? That's it. We know how many people run to the MPs to take money. If you just want to throw insults, please. This is not your platform. We are arguing intellectually. You understand? You can't come and just say, be intelligent. What is the point? He's lying. What has he lied about? Can you tell us? So that we know that you are debating rather than just coming to put a statement and go away. Joe Emmanuel Nkrumah says, Black, that feeble excuse isn't viable. Why wouldn't our MPs declare they are not school fees payers? Hey, they will lose the next election. That's what I told you. It's tongue in cheek. They will lose the next election. So, we as intelligent people must talk about our people running away from going to these people and be asking them for things. And push our leaders to make available what is supposed to be for us to come to us. Simple. I gave you the examples of America, England, and all that. Why people don't go running after MPs is because the system works in one way or the other. But here, the man is already promising you that when he comes into power, he will give you this, and that. And you know he cannot do it, but you want to live in that euphoria. So you vote him, and then you go knocking at his door. Anyway, Holy MTV says, good evening, Black Rasta. Poladum Ochri should come and defend this scandal of CECILIA DAPAAH if he's not ashamed of himself. Well, I don't know what he's going to say. Rap Thunder says, to me, there's no program in Ghana which is bigger than the Black Pot. Never. It's only here that we use our mind. Blessed love, respect. Olivius Nwinzi says, in a serious country, this legislator will have been fired. With this kind of behavior, if you call them by their name without adding honorable, they are not happy. These are dishonorables. Francis Ampim says, Black Rasta, good evening to you and your crew. Black Rasta, the show is live this evening across the country. It's all about Ghana and Africa. No one is bigger than the truth. True. Beta Bless says, salute. Soldier, I don't know what you are saying in this your song, Gafara and Jangbarizo. But anytime I listen to it, it really moves me. In fact, just like Bob Marley and Alpha Blondy, bless up. Well, Gafara is simply means sorry in the Dagbani language. I'm just apologizing for not being what my father and mother wanted me to be, but I am telling them I am happy about what I have decided to be. You see that? So that's what it is. Jangbarizo is a rat friend. A friend who is a rat, turn around and bite you, That's what it's about. Yeah, man. Thank you for loving the songs. Peter Bless says, I didn't want to say this, but it did trigger me. In fact, Black Rasta BECE certificate self be relevant that the certificate of this dirty president of our is more relevant than the certificate of this dirty president's country, right? Abozegi lawyer, we step on them. Holy MTV says, is it true politicians can make people fool? Come to Ghana, go to Nigeria. They have turned a lot of us into fools. Fuseni Yaki says, blessed Friday, blessed Friday. Yakubu, Abu Yakubu says, Black Rasta, may the Almighty Allah guide and protect you. Blessed love. We have Soleji Mawena says, Black Rasta, my player is one day, one of our African leaders would come here and listen to your show. They listen, and it's online. They can always pick it up and watch. Nabong Pyramid says, good evening, Black Rasta. I am here to listen to the mouthpiece of our ancestors. This show is too deep for shallow minds to understand. That is very true. Reno says, come here, Dash. You are a visionary, Black. Blessed love. I appreciate you and I love you. It's been the Black Pot, aka Kukushonomo. Remember to share this broadcast and encourage family and friends to also subscribe and also punch on the notification button so anytime we come, you are with us. Again, we never take your time for granted. We appreciate you for the time spent with us. We love and appreciate you. To God be the glory. Enjoy your weekend. Hey! Whoa!